Welcome to episode number 21 of the Inspired Rapper Show. My name is Dax Hammer, a.k.a. Derek Alexander of the Mix Lodge, and I'm sitting here with my co-host,
the No Lies Way. I ain't with the fables, serving that God that is oh so able. When you come here, you gonna get a good meal at this table. Woo! Julian is in the building.
Yeah! Check it. What kind of dance you got for us today?
This right here. This is the struggle to reel in non-believers.
You call that the rope. The rope.
You gotta drag them in. Drag them in with the gospel.
And once again, we have an informative, energetic, and motivating show for you here today. So if you are a rap artist and you're looking to learn and grow in your craft, then stay tuned and keep your ears open to this podcast because we have a great show for you here today.
That's right. Let's get right into it, man. I'm excited.
Well, listen, what exactly are we talking about today?
We're talking about a couple of different things. Let them know what it is, Dax.
Well, we're talking about one main thing. Let me just find it here. So the topic at hand is 5 skills that every rapper needs. 5 skills. What did you do that one episode?
5 skills that every rapper needs. I kind of sound like I'm hitting puberty while I'm trying to do the deep voice.
That's all right, though. The effect was there. So let's dive right into it because we are a podcast where we give them everything right from the jump. They don't got to wait an hour to find out the good stuff. So point number 1 out of the 5 skills that every rapper needs is being multi-syllabic.
Yes, he hits hard with that, man. He's all about that.
Because I feel that when you're multi-syllabic, that you become a more interesting sounding rapper. Automatically, your credibility goes from mediocrity, subpar, to, oh, he's dope. Automatically. Not worrying about how you flow necessarily or how you sound or your voice. Once you become able to rhyme more complex words and schemes, you automatically increase your credibility. So I press in hard on that because if you are a beginning rapper, you don't need to go through the first 5 years and have somebody tell you you need to become multisyllabic. Right now, you're learning from the jump. And if you already are multisyllabic, thumbs up to you. And if you're 5 years or more deep and you are not, then you need to get your game together.
I can completely vouch for that because while working with this guy, at first I wasn't. And then he started coaching me on the multisyllabic deal and saying you need to start incorporating this because it'll make your songs better. So I started to listen, develop an ear for it, started writing like that. And I had to redo old songs with the new multisyllabic flow because it just flowed so much better. It's a great segue. It's a great way to make the song go nice and smooth.
That's right.
It's like water. It make it like water.
It's like water.
Like water.
So I want to give them an example of being multisyllabic here. And I'm going to emphasize the rhyming words so you have an understanding of what I'm talking about.
Give them some bars.
Let's give them some bars. So listen, we making marks worse than keying cars, defeating odds, moving mountains the size of Everest and ain't breathing hard. Exposing Satan is nothing more than a ballerina guard and a leotard, taking God's word and knocking them out till he's seeing stars. We leaving scars for the nerves he touch like a deep massage. We got a passion for God. No matter what we up against, our hearts will go on like Celine Dion. ISIS trying to rule with Sharia law, but these feet I'm on will never bow down to nothing but Jesus the Lord, because he is God. So let me rewind back and give you a little bit of a synopsis here of the rhyming words that I use. So basically it was keying cars, defeating odds, breathing hard, ballerina guard, leotard, seeing stars, leaving scars, deep massage, Celine Dion, Sharia law, feed them on, Jesus the Lord, he is God. So, gone are the days where you can get by. Well, I mean, I don't know about today's music. It might be passable, but more, nonetheless, in terms of being a good rap artist with skill, using like the last 3 letters or last syllable of a word to rhyme is mad corny. You have to be able to showcase that you have some skill, some intelligence, some complexity to your rhyme schemes. So being able to rhyme multiple syllable words, 3 or 4 syllables in a word, and rhyme the next word with 3 or 4 syllables, or multiple words, 1 word, 2 words, and 2 more words in the rhyme scheme. So that's what I did there.
We're here to inspire you to be a better rapper altogether. Can you get by without multi? And today you could do anything and get famous, but we want to make you a better rapper. And this made me a better rapper.
Amen.
So, let's get
Amen.
it.
So point number 2 here is being able to animate your voice. This is something that I definitely lacked on, and you might have even heard it there. Coming from an era where there wasn't much playfulness or animation, I think that's more of a current thing. Maybe in my particular genre of music, East Coast rap, pretty much. So, but my good friend here, Julian, is going to give us an example. Yeah, good friend Julian is going to give us an example of what it means to animate your voice. So go ahead and showcase that skill for the people.
Check it. You dancing with the devil doing do-si-dos. Looking like Morris Day with the OEO.
Whoop.
But I see it's paralyzed like it's polio.
Whoop.
When he coming with the bull like a rodeo, you tryna raise your net like a goalie post. Never thought about the Holy Ghost. All you wanted was a Rolito, so you sold your soul and got the okie doke. That's all I could give you.
So what he pretty much did there was he, like, so it's basically stretching the word, playing with the pitch, and sounding playful and animated, because what that does is it keeps you intrigued and interested while listening. It doesn't get boring. So if you can do that, you'll definitely increase your credibility, and that's the goal of being a rapper and increasing your skill, increasing your credibility, so people look at you and be like, that's a dope artist right there.
A rapper is what? An entertainer.
That's right.
So you have to make music that is entertaining. Although you have the bars, everything could be there.
Bars.
How much more how much less entertaining would it be if I just said, you dancing with the devil doing do-si-dos, looking like Morris Day.
I wouldn't be able to do the whoop. It just doesn't fit.
You can't add much. And then the ad-libs, when you are animated in your voice regularly with the bars, the ad-libs, you could be more animated with that as well. But if you like this, the ad-libs got to be somewhere around that too. You can't just be like, da-da-da, and your ad-libs are like, yeah, you can't really do that. It don't really work right. They don't mesh well.
That's right. So moving on to point number 3 here, and we're going to put Julian into the fire because we're going to have him give some examples of some flows, which is the point is knowing how to properly flow to a beat would increase your credibility of a rapper, and you need that as a vital skill. So the different flows that I can imagine would be double time, triplet flow, traditional New York flow, West Coast flow, and of course the mumble rap type flow. Julian, drop a beat. I'll go under the fire real quick, and I'll give you a double time and triplet flow. Just, not really saying any words, just to give you an example of the flow. So give me something like in the 70-ish BPM range. A little bit slower. All right, a little bit slower. Okay, right there. Right. So let's do the double time flow. Okay? Triple flow. Same tempo. Okay? Triplet flow. If you guys heard a difference, you got a good ear. To some, it might sound like exactly the same thing. But if you look at those notes on a sheet of sheet music, right? There's an evident placement of those notes to create that particular flow. So look it up, triplet flow, double time flow. Those are two important things. Now we're going to have Julian here give us an example of a traditional New York flow, a West Coast flow, and a mumble rap type flow. I'll drop the New York beat. We're going to go up to about 90 BPM.
Some no sign and no final. Some final. Some no final. Puno final. John final. Final. No puno final. John no final. I turn final. The Don Ghana. The Punga final. John the Bon Ghana.
That sounds like Wu-Tang. That sounds like Wu-Tang.
You feel me?
That sounds like Shaolin, New York, Staten Island.
Listen, man. What better way to go?
That's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and do the West Coast flow. Same BPM, same tempo. Drum rhythms were pretty much very similar.
Some
So explain what you did there and what makes the West Coast. I think it's pretty interesting how you describe it.
Now the West Coast, West Coast. Forgive me. The West Coast style is primarily about putting emphasis on the last word or the rhyming word a lot of times. So when you hear them rapping, you'll hear them say, going down the street and I ask him, how you doing?
That's like the Snoop Dogg flow.
Conversation, gang language, and you know we really fluent. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you hear him go hard on the last.
That's so true.
You feel me?
That sounds so West Coast.
That's to me, that's what I hear a lot of times. Even if you listen to Ice Cube, I don't advise you to listen to No Vaseline, but he does it a lot in that too. Like, you can hear it all on that last word. And with the New York flow, a lot of times you hear a straight through kind of like a and sometimes you'll hear multiple rhyming words within one thing. But a lot of times it goes one line, excuse me, I don't want to say thing, multiple rhyming words in one line.
Right.
But it's a lot more fluent, like fluent, and it flows through straight through like that, instead of like an emphasis to clearly indicate that this is one line, this is another line in the separation of lines. You know what I'm saying?
If you're not from the West Coast, don't try to do a West Coast flow. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. West Coast flow, so much of it comes from the actual accent of the person
it does.
speaking.
It
So,
does.
stay true to where you come from.
And then their music, I don't want to make it seem like New York music is better than West Coast music, because
not at all.
each person makes, if you're nice, you're nice no matter where you're from. I'm just saying the flow is different. I don't know if that came off.
I mean,
that
I
way.
think each side. I think New York flow. What you said about the not as much of an emphasis on the ending words, but maybe they make up for it in the schemes and the rhymes and whatnot. I mean, it's not that West Coast doesn't have scheme and rhymes.
They got all of that.
Absolutely. It's just
Depends
kind
on
of
who you
like
listen to.
there's a little bit of a separation between the two, where maybe one side does one thing a little bit more than the other side does, or focuses on that particular aspect. But let's entertain here and move on to the mumble rap type flow.
Look at the time, look at the time, look at the time, I'm late. Gotta go to work, gotta go to work, gotta go to work, I'm late. Look at that time, I'm hopping in my whip. Look at the time, hopping away. Going to work, I'm going at. Mumble rap is fun. I can't front, man.
Oh man,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because you don't gotta make no sense.
That is
mumble
funny.
Rap.
So listen, moving on to point number 4. We're on point 4 already. Point 4. Wow.
Moving.
Being able to freestyle. That's a skill that I feel every rapper needs, and I'll tell you why. Once again, going back to me as a rapper, it's something that I never really picked up on because I was lazy to learn it. I was always writing and whatnot because it's hard. At first it's annoying because when you start learning to freestyle, you're not saying anything. You're actually saying words that don't even make sense and aren't words. Just trying to find rhyming words and things to make sense. And I never got to that point where I broke through and was like, wow, I just said something dope. But freestyling, I believe, is very important. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would definitely go back and freestyle.
If I could turn back the hands.
This guy's a singer, man. I'm telling you. I don't even know why he's the co-host of the Inspired Rapper Show. But let's go into a little bit more about the freestyling. Why is freestyling important? It shows an extra bit of skill that every rapper doesn't possess. That's the reality. I didn't have it. Other rappers don't have it. So when you come in and you go into the cypher and you're coming off at the top, boom, you automatically go from here to here in terms of your credibility.
Right.
It does create that wow factor when you're able to talk about things around you on the spot, especially in a live show. If you ever seen a dude like Andy Mineo, or there's another female rap artist, Christian hip hop artist named Cicely, they do that. They go to shows, they do their set, but in the middle, they grab some objects and whatnot, and they start freestyling about them.
That's what's up.
And that's an awesome way to be able to gain that crowd kind of reaction, that crowd connection. If they can't hear what you're saying with the beat playing, they'll definitely hear you when you're actually talking about something that you grab from them.
A tip on freestyling. When you're freestyling, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you're being yourself.
Right.
Because when you're in a cypher or when you're rapping with other people and they're freestyling, there's a habit to pick up what someone else is doing. Someone could be comfortable freestyling at a faster pace, but if you're a slow rapping type of person, keep that tempo,
right,
and just be you with it. It doesn't need to be straight through. You could just be like, so I look across the street, heard something creak, diarrhea. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that's the thing, is like, I don't know how much you practice freestyling, but nonetheless, even if you're not saying stuff that's like, wow, you still say enough that's like, That was dope because you know it's coming off the top of the head.
Right,
It's not
right.
something that you practice, and that's why I have confidence putting him in the fire sometimes because I know that he could definitely come through with something to give an example and make it sound dope. I say dope a lot. It's all right though.
You got me saying dope.
Yeah.
I say dope more now.
Hey, listen, that's dope.
I don't even know if I liked the word dope before I came here. And
Yeah,
then
that's stupid, bro.
I heard it used, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of dope. Oh, look at that.
The power of influence.
Yeah, right.
Moving on to point number 5, the last skill that is essential for every rapper to have, being able to tell stories that captivate the listener.
Yeah.
Definitely something that will up your credibility as a rap artist. Now, let's talk a little bit about storytelling. Well, actually, let's mention a couple artists that did it very well. Nas,
Of course.
Eminem, and I like to mention also Andy Mineo. These are guys that when you listen to their music, they tell a story, and it's like you're watching a movie in your head. You can see it, envision it. It's very vivid, and that's a skill and an art form within of itself.
Yeah.
So what makes a good storytelling rapper? What do you need to do? So give me your 2 cents. I got a couple bullet points here, but give me something off at the top.
When you're the listener, the way you know someone's a good storytelling rapper is when they can convey a story in such a way to put you in their shoes, and you can feel like you're there, and you can even imagine it and see it in your head what they're going through, almost almost as if they didn't even need a music video.
Right.
That would make an amazing storyteller. But from a rapper's perspective, when you're writing, include details.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna talk about how you walk down the street, and I keep doing walk down the street
He
references.
walks down the street a lot.
I do walk down the street. I do a lot of walking, I guess. But if you're walking down the street, now this sounds a little funny, but talk about the weather. Talk about something you saw. Talk about someone who was there. Talk about what it was like out there. When I went outside, it was 90
Engage
degrees.
all the senses.
Engage all the senses. So when outside, it was 90 degrees. Tried to go to the store and they hit me with fees. I was kind of upset because my dog had fleas and my girl was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
See what I'm saying? That's why I can
give
rely on you.
examples of, but in the story you hear the weather, the temperature. You hear why I was upset when I went somewhere at the store. You hear what my problem was in my everyday life because my dog had fleas.
Poor dog, man. I
Yeah.
really felt for that dog.
You feel me? The dog was crying. It was sobbing like, yo, owner, like,
Yo, owner.
You feel me? Like, what's going on?
So a couple bullet points here.
I do not
as
have
to-
a dog, by the way.
I
That
do. I
has
got
fleas.
2.
And they're wonderful pups.
Thank you.
They're not pups.
Oh, wow. Anyway, moving on. What makes a good storytelling rapper here? Some points to emphasize or highlight: the animation of words, like he did in his example freestyle, the tone of your voice, which is kind of very similar, having the story make sense, leaving little room for confusion throughout the song. When you
Right.
watch a movie, when you watch a good play, these screenwriters, they make sure that they create something that you understand, unless it's one of those movies where you don't get it until like the end.
Like Get Out or something like that, where you're not really sure what's happening.
Yeah, but for the most part, you want to be able to understand the plot, and it makes sense. So being humorous, adding comedy is an essential ingredient to a good story as well.
Yeah.
And also utilizing story elements such as characters, setting, plot, conflict, climax, resolution. All of these things that go into making a great movie should be incorporated into your great story for your song, because you're fighting an uphill battle with a story and a song, trying to engage the things that's much easier to do with your eyes, right? So in terms of listening, you're trying to engage those senses. So when you utilize these elements that are so successful visually, it'll help you with telling the story.
Just keep in mind, make a movie with your music. I like that.
Make a movie with your music.